Hello, this is the Columbia College Chicago Library. This video will focus on one of the tools that will be helpful with the 20th Century Trends assignment in the Trend Setting course in Fashion Studies. We're on the Research Guide for Fashion Studies, and more specifically on the page for the 20th Century Trends assignment. If you want an easy way to get back to this page, you can use the URL at the top of the page, or you could come in through the Research Guide's links on the library page. Today we're going to look at a historical newspaper archive. We have the New York Times, the Chicago Tribune, and the Chicago Defender historical archives. Today's example will be in the New York Times Historic Archive. So I'm going to show you a pathway that could get you to a search that will focus on a particular decade, and then you can use keywords to search for subject matter within that decade. So the first thing that you'll want to do is go to the advanced search. And on the advanced search page, you can, let's pretend that's not there. You can go down to the publication date, and there are various ways to do that, but the thing that's going to work most effectively for us is the specific date range. And then you can put in the first year of your decade. I put in 1940, and the last day of your last year of your decade, I put in 1949. And you can do a search with just those two dates, no search terms. So as you can see, we've got 2.25 million results. That's a lot. So there are a few ways that you could narrow this down. One is to look at a particular year. So you could select one of these years, or you could pull the date range tool to a smaller range of years. What I recommend is looking at document types, because the results in this list include classified ads, obituaries, display ads, and all kinds of resources. So let's say that we want to stay focused on the articles. So that cuts it in about half. And then we can search a particular term. So 1940s, I'm going to look for articles about television, imagining that, this is the early days of television. What might we find out that would be interesting? And then we get fewer results. So I'm just going to scan through these first 20 items. There are many more pages that you could look at to go beyond the first page. So one interesting item is about Hollywood in the television age. Movies which cannot lick video must join it, says Samuel Goldwyn. So obviously this is reflecting concern and interest in the changes that television are bringing and the challenges to the Hollywood film industry at the time. There's another item, number 20, that's looking at television's impact on family life. So let's open that one. So here we get the article, the illustrations and everything included there. It's a scanned image from the newspaper. You can also look at the page view. So if this were not a full page article, it would show the content that's around it on the page. You can also go from that page forward or backward to look at other content in the newspaper. Sometimes it's interesting to go back and look at the first page of the newspaper. But it's a great way to sort of get a sense of what else was being written about at the time. So here we have obviously some post-World War II interest in Berlin and Russia and socialism and what was happening in the world of politics globally. This article, you'll notice, is from 12th of June, 1949. So you've got all the content about it here. You can download a PDF copy. You can cite the article. You can email it to yourself, etc. If you have any questions or would like more hints for using historical newspaper archives and other kinds of resources, you can come to the library page and use our chat service or our email service. And of course, chat is available immediately when it's available, and email will be answered within 24 hours, usually much more quickly than that. Thank you.